Hi guys, I am so excited. I've got a couple of people on here. Hi Carmen and hi Bonnie. This is actually my first live, so I am trying out some new software. I'm trying out a new camera to see how it works. I think the video is a little bit off, but that just means I need to probably turn on some other lights. So just a sec. Let's see if this looks better. Hi Maylin. That looks better. Okay, now don't look quite as washed out, at least my hands, because that's all you're going to see right now. I figured what I would do for this first live stream, because I want to get some practice in. I want to start doing some of these for you guys, and I am so excited that you're coming here to hang out with me. I'm going to go ahead and just do some, I know you guys like ink smooshing. Am I right? Let me know in the chat if that's something that you guys like. I need to make some more holiday cards. You guys probably do too. So I'm gonna do some fall theme colored, and I'm gonna do some Christmas theme colors. So I'm gonna start off with my go-to Catherine Pooler inks. So I'm gonna use a bunch of those, and I'm gonna go ahead and use some watercolor paper. Excuse the cough. Sorry about that, guys. So I'm going to just start off with some, let's see, what colors do I want to use? I love the Cranberry Fizz. That's that new one. Have you guys tried that out yet? I'm going to do some Bellini and get out some other orange and red too. These other colors from Catherine Pooler. These out of the way. And let's see. That needs to be wiped down because it's got cat hair all over it. Who out there has some cat hair? Has some cats, not cat hair. Oh, Bonnie, the reason I'm going to try doing it on watercolor paper is because since I'm doing ink smooshing, I'm going to be getting everything a bit wet. And although this works fine on regular paper as well, I think it works better on watercolor. I do cheat quite a bit, and I use regular cardstock all the time for mine. You have two sets, or you have two cats, Maylin? Oh yeah, I do love these inks. They are very, very, very pretty. So I'm going to start off with just putting some of that Cranberry Fizz, and this is brand new, so it is very, very, very inky. And some Bellini. Do a little rocking red, which I use a lot, so you can tell there's not as much ink going down. And some of that orange twist. And then I'm just going to spray quite a bit of water down using my distress. Oh my goodness, look at the splatter. I am making a mess, and you guys know I don't really like making a mess. Do that. Let's see, I know I've got paper towels around here somewhere. There they are. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and just smoosh some of these panels in, and let's see what we get. Yeah, I know what you mean, Maylin, because I saw on a recent email from her that she's got some more colors that came out. Oh, goodness, look at that. That one does not need anything extra. What do you think, guys? That is just gorgeous. And then I will put a little bit more water down. This should make it a little bit more muted, not quite so bold. Did you lose me? Oh my goodness. There we go. Am I back? Okay. Okay, I'm back. Thank you guys. Sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened. I must have hit a button or something. So let's see how this one turns out. That I think needs a little more orange. And actually it needs quite a bit more orange. Let me dry some of this up and I'll put some more of these down. You are so right. There are tons and tons of more colors out there, and some of them are just so gorgeous you just gotta have them. I recently went ahead and swatched out all of my distress inks, and which makes me want to use them more too. Okay, that's very pretty too. So I'll go ahead and put that one to the side. I think I'll do at least one more because I've got quite a bit more ink down on this little mat. Let's see if I can squish it this way. So I put the panel down where it was kind of built up, and I'm just kind of pushing it away. That actually looks a lot like one of the ones that I did for Halloween. Oh, hi, Elaine. And welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. Okay, so we've got 3 of those vibrant fall colors, and actually there's enough red in those. Those would look really pretty even for Christmas, which is, of course, one of the things I need to get a lot more done of. I need more Christmas cards. Have you guys started working on your Christmas cards yet? So now I am going to go ahead and pull out another new ink that I haven't even taken out of the box yet. Now, this is Deck the Halls. That's one of the brand new ones from Catherine Pooler. So I haven't even tried this one yet. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to do some greens by themselves and then let that dry a little bit and then do some of the red and put that in. Oh, that one is a real dark evergreen. That is very pretty. And then Grass Skirt, of course, is that more bright and vibrant color. Oh, thank you so much, Malin. I've only got a couple of videos up so far for Christmas. One went up today if you guys haven't already seen it yet. That one has heat embossing and uses that new stamp set from Gina K that came out for Stamptember. That stamp set's probably not going to be available, but you can use other things to do the same kind of design. It's kind of interesting. I think I need some more of the dark though. Actually, I'm going to do both. Okay. Let's put some more of the dark up there and the light down in the corner. Oh, that looks nice. And the drips kind of look like tree branches. I like that. Okay, let's see if I can find some place to put this now that I'm running out of space. I don't have not a lot of space on my desk. I have too much stuff on it. Okay, this one's too wet to move. Okay, and here's another one. I'm going to put it down over here in this darker area where it's got more of the ink and just kind of slide it across. And let's see what that does. I think this needs some brighter green. Okay, put some of the bright green in the middle, and then over there. Oh, that looks nice. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and clean this up, and then what I want to do is go ahead and turn at least one of the ones that we've already done into a card. So I'm going to need to dry that up some, because I want to do some heat embossing on it. So I will be right back. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of heat set the ones that were done first to try to get some of that ink to dry. May not be able to get it to dry enough. So Mary, you're in Salem. What's the weather like there? Okay, so because I don't want to mess up my stamping, I am, as usual, using my Tim Holtz. Oh gosh, that's got a lot of embossing powder on my Tim Holtz stamp platform. I also made my own sticky grid. This isn't real sticky, but what I used was a piece of graph paper, laminated it, and then just sprayed some stencil spray on there. And it's been working pretty good to keep my card panels in place. You need to clean it and re-stick it. But that's a neat thing. You can just clean off all of the sticky that's on there, and the cat hair, and the embossing powder, and all that kind of good stuff, and just respray it. So I think I want this one to go that way, and it's not sticking as good as it was because I've been using it. So I'm going to get out a removable tape runner, which is not sticking to, well, might help if I took the flap off. And I'm going to go ahead and stick this down in the corner so it'll stay in place because I don't want to mess up my stamping. And I'm going to use this stamp set from Colorado Craft Company. It's the Savvy Sentiments Thank You So Much. And I'm going to use that big thank you. Okay, that looks kind of good. And like I said in my video that went out this morning, I'm doing better at using my powder tool. I also found out that this darn thing was actually clogged, and I had no idea. This top here unscrews, and when I unscrewed it, it's like that. There's a bunch of powder like kind of stuck up at the top. If it gets stuck like that, then there's not a whole lot coming out. But after I cleaned it out that first time, it's been working a lot better. So, and I'm going to put a ton down because I have no idea if this stuff is actually as dry as I'd like. And I'm going to go ahead and pour some embossing powder over it to see whether or not to see whether or not it's going to stick. And I think I'm going to use my gold. So this is gold embossing powder that I picked up from Recollections like 2 years ago. So let's see if it sticks on there. That's pretty good. May have to use some tape to hold it down. I need to clean that thing. And my go-to, well, embossing ink. I'm not even sure if I've ever actually used this stamp. Do you guys ever get stamps and then forget to use them? Okay. Put that down there. Looks pretty good, but I think I'm going to stamp it again. Okay. Oh, that looks good. Now, I do see that there's parts of it that didn't get any embossing ink, but I'm going to go ahead and heat this up and then just restamp it. Hi, Tanya. So, Carmen, you're just as bad as me, huh? You forget to use the stuff that you bought, huh? This is my favorite part of embossing. Take a look at that. We'll definitely have to restamp it because a lot of the thank and a lot of the U didn't come through. Just didn't get any ink down. So you guys pray for me that I get this straight. This is too pretty to have to throw away, you know? Okay. It's down in the corner, so it should be fine. And I'm using a microfiber cloth to be able to slide over it well while I'm doing that pressing. It does look like it might be slightly off. Yeah, that looks like it's slightly off. Let me go ahead and just go back over it and see if I can save this. Okay, so I'm going to try something a little bit different. I just put the acetate sheet that came with the stamp onto my stamp platform, and I'm just going to do a real light inking of it so I can make sure that my panel is in the right spot, because apparently something somewhere shifted and I don't want to mess it up. Okay, that's enough to be able to see. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and slide this under there. Yeah, it looks like somehow my panel must have slid just a touch. And I think that all of the embossing powder that I've got on this darn thing here is making it not be sticky anymore. So let me line this up. Let's slide the acetate into the corner. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, and now I am going to go ahead and just tape it in place because I don't want it to move again. And then I'm going to do the same thing that you're supposed to do when you are doing any kind of word work. Measure twice, cut once. So I am going to put this thing down again to see if it still is in the right spot. Okay, that looks good. So now back to the Wow embossing powder. Oh, one thing I forgot to ask you about is I've got a little bit of really quiet music playing in the background, and I'm wondering, are you guys able to hear it? Is it too loud? Is it not loud enough? Because this will help me to make sure that I do a better job next time. Okay. Thanks, Elaine. I'm hoping that this is going to do it right because I want to use this one. Looks close. That looks close. So let's see how I do with the embossing powder, though. Yeah, it's still off. You can see that. So I think I am going to give up on putting any more embossing powder on this one. And I may go back to it later. Because that is, I agree with you, Elaine, this is too pretty. Okay, I'm going to turn the music up just a touch to see if you guys are able to hear it at all. And then if it gets too loud, be sure to let me know. It's just some Christmas music, so. Hi, Tracy! Thank you so much for dropping by. This is my first live stream. I think I probably tried to do one a couple of years ago, but my setup was not good. I finally got a new webcam, and I finally got increased internet. So hopefully this one looks okay. I'm going to go back later and take a look and see. But you know how that goes. If your technology isn't working quite right, then it's not very fun. Okay, I'm going to try to do what I was trying to do with this one again on this second panel and see how that one does. And it still feels a little bit wet, so let me go ahead and heat that up a little bit more. Oh, thank you for letting me know, Tracy. I really appreciate it. I'm also, I know I already let you guys know, I'm playing a little bit of Christmas music in the background, and I'd love to know whether or not that is too loud or is not loud enough. And I'm using Catherine Pooler inks. Most of this red that you're seeing on the different panels is that new one, the Cranberry Fizz. And then for the green panels, I'm using her grass skirt and... what is that new one? Grass skirt and Deck the Halls. So I just got those two in. Of course, I saw a blog post and email lately that makes me want to buy some more ink. So anyway. Okay, Elaine, thank you for letting me know that the music is good for you guys. When I listen to myself do any kind of, on my videos, when I'm listening to myself during the editing, I don't like the way I sound, so that's one reason for the music. Okay, cleaning up some of that extra embossing powder and cat hair that's on that. And neither side's really going to be sticky at all, so I'm going to do this one a little bit different than the last one. See, yeah, I think I want it up that way. I'm going to put some tape on the back. Oh, hi, Wendy. Thank you so much for dropping in, hun. I appreciate it. Is this a good time for a day for you guys for lives? I want to do some more of these and get some practice in and, of course, make some more stuff with you. I mean, it's fun to craft alone, but it's much more fun to craft with your friends, so I'd love to have you guys with me. Oh, too bad, Tracy. Let me know when it comes up. I'd love to watch. Okay, so now I'm going back in again with that Wow embossing ink. Using my microfiber cloth so I can slide across the top of my press. And I can't see the ink, so I'm going to try it again. I'm sure some's on there, but I know that it didn't do as well right on the thank word on that stamp earlier, so. I'm going to give it a little more pressure. Okay. Well, I cannot see it, but I'm going to try to emboss it anyway. So I'm now going back in with that Recollections Gold. Oh, that one turned better. That one is a lot better. Thinking I might be able to use a glue pen to fill in the places that didn't go. And there are a few little places that have got some gold that I don't particularly want it. That looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and heat that one up. And now for the magic. It actually looks pretty good. Yeah, I have to say that this one is a keeper. It's like the only places it looks like I missed was right down here, so that I think is, I'm going to call it good enough. Which is a little hard to do when you're OCD. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this one, I think, is I'm going to trim it down and ink up the edges and then add it to a card base. And do you guys want to stick around while I do that, or are you having something else that you need to do? I have no idea how long we've been on. I mean, either way, I will post a picture of it on Instagram and Facebook and such so you guys can see how the finished card turned out. And these panels are right at 4.5, so I'm going to start off by cutting. I think I want to go just right to the other side of that banner there. Okay. And it's shorter on the top, so I'll cut more off of the bottom, I think. So I'm going to cut this part down to 5. And then trim it back down to right next to that banner. Okay, that's not too long. You guys want to stick around for a bit more while I finish up this card? Or do you guys need to go have dinner and such? As soon as my husband gets back from his bike ride, I'm probably going to need to go start making dinner. You know how that goes. Oh, that's fine, Tracy. Thank you, Miss Elaine. Okay, so I'm going to grab I think this is one of the ones from Picket Fence. I've got several blending brushes. This one I think is from them. It's either that or from Amazon. And I just got another set in from Amazon too. These are actually kind of cool. These are real inexpensive, and they're all in color, so I can tell what color they're going to be. Like this is the one that I used on some purple. I think it was last week or week before. I got a ton of these things. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take that same ink. I'm going to take the Cranberry Fizz and just ink up the edges on this. Oh, good, Tracy. Where did I put that mat? I'm going to use this one so that I can get a better blend and be able to see what I'm doing. As I tend to blend with kind of a heavy hand, and that doesn't always look good. That's one of the things I'm noticing on my Distress Ink mini blending tool. When I use the round ones, like I used to use those things all the time until they came out with these other brushes. But when I use those, I still tend to get those round circles, and I hate that. So I'm trying to train myself to go a little bit more gentle coming in. Okay. So that is nice. It's bringing just a little bit more of that Cranberry Fizz color in. Oh, thanks, Penny. And you are so right, Tracy. I've been fighting with my internet company. I'm in Florida, and where I live, the only company that has high-speed internet that is fast enough to do anything with is Spectrum, and I wound up with them because they bought the company that I was with, I don't know, 20 years ago. And they just recently decided that they are not going to be dealing with the contract for that company anymore. They're getting rid of all of those. Oh, that is pretty. All of those contracts. So I was able to get a pretty good deal on my internet. So that was nice. Okay. So hang on a second while I get a card base, and we'll go ahead and add that on. Okay, so I want you guys to tell me, which do you think? Should I put it on the cream or should I put it on the white? Oh, Tracy, that is too bad. Well, I'm going to leave this one up so you can always watch the replay if you'd like. I'd like to know which one you guys would prefer. Do you think I should put it on the cream-colored cardstock or on the white? Both of these are, Elaine says white. Both of these are 300 GSM 100 pound from Michaels. I've got a ton of that, although I've been hearing about a couple of other brands of paper that I may try. Okay, we've got one cream and one white. Let me put it on both again so you guys can take a look and let me know what you think. And what I'm going to have is a little bit of a border around, so that gives you an idea of what it's going to look like. I think it'll go good on either. We've got 2 for cream. Three for cream. Okay, cream it is. So, like always, I'm going to make my card base, and I'm going to just score this at 4 1/4. And then I'm going to flip it over and fold it so that the indented part is on the outside. And the reason for that, ladies, I'm sure you guys already know, is so that the card base won't crack. Sometimes when you fold paper or cardstock, especially the heavier the cardstock you use, you wind up cracking your paper if you fold it wrong. And I've seen a lot of videos quite a while back that said that it really didn't matter, but I know that this works better for me. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm also going to go ahead and use some Arteza foam tape for this. So this is what we're going to look like. And I'm thinking I'm probably going to add some Nuvo drops to that too. That would look really nice. I'm gonna have to vacuum my desk when I get done here. I've got embossing powder all over the place. Oh, thank you, Miss Maylin. You are so sweet. Okay, and then we're gonna put 3 strips down the middle so that the middle doesn't sag. Okay, and while I am finishing this up, ladies, I'd like for you to let me know something. For my next video, first off, and it's not my next trick, that's just what went in my head. For my next trick, I want to do some more of these lives. When is the best time of day for you? Would you rather morning, afternoon, or evening? And right now it is 5 o'clock Eastern time. And my husband leaves the house and doesn't do any kind of work or anything, usually around 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and doesn't come home until about 7 when it gets dark, because he is insane when it comes to riding his bicycle. He's a triathlete. Go figure, you know? So that is probably a good time for me, but I can try some other times as well if there's something that works better for you. And when I'm pulling off this tape, see on the sides, I'm going to be creating some handles and a space that doesn't have the tape off of it yet, so that it's easier to position. And I try to explain that every time when I'm doing this in my videos, but I also zip through them pretty quick. So I want to make sure you guys see what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this end and I'm going to put it down in the corner about where I want it. And because there's no adhesive on it, I can slide it around. And then position it so it's about a 1/4 inch around. And I'm going to do like Kathy Zilski says, and stand up. And now that I'm standing up, I can see that that is about where I want it. And then I can just pull these off and stick the rest of the adhesive down. And I'm thinking that that part didn't get enough heat. It looks a little bit dingy. And I've seen that happen before, and what always surprises me is that it doesn't rub off. Yep, that part didn't get enough heat. Oh. And so I'm going to go ahead and grab some Nuvo drops, and that is going to finish up this card. I'll either use my Nuvo drops or just other liquid pearls. I think I'm going to use gold liquid pearls. That'll be nice. And you should always, or at least try to remember, to test it out on another piece of cardstock so you make sure you don't have any kind of big clumps or anything. I'll just add a few drops here and there. Lately I've been liking putting a trio in each of the, in 2 of the corners. I think that looks pretty nice. Okay, so that is going to finish up that card, and if I get it close enough, you might be able to see the card and not my desk. I'm still learning how to use this camera. I've only had it about 2 weeks, so it's still a work in progress. I do want to thank you guys for hanging out with me and watching me make this pretty card. Thank you so much again, and I'll be sure to drop back by the channel. I am going to do a lot more Christmas videos, so you can look forward to that, and thank you much. Have a great day, guys. Hey, Deb, I'm still on here. I am leaving this up so you can see the replay, okay, honey? And thank you guys. Thank you all so much for dropping by on my first live. Thank you again.